and shit. It's okay, that's how the game is played. You thought you could be fired but didn't know how to get paid. I call that pedaling backwards. Believe me, dog, the flashy colors are absurd. I'm so nice with verbs, I can cause action without the use of words.
Welcome to I Hate Podcast Show. Now, the reason why I called it I Hate Podcast Shows, it's just a limited series. It's not an ongoing show that's going to be going on forever, but this show is dedicated to people that hate podcasts that are based on political junctures. It's fine to have political platforms, but now there's like 2 billion of them. Male hating, female bashing, popping balloons, everything that it could be negative and fear mongering is out there, and this is all we see on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and other platforms that you may choose. So this one is just to lighten stuff up. Sometimes we don't need to take anything serious. I am a Gen Xer, so us Gen Xers don't really think about stuff and put much thought into stuff. We understand a joke, and we don't cry and bitch and complain about a lot of stuff that is going on right now. Let's take our first example.
By 200 relay in the Virginia State High School League Championships when the shocking incident happened.
That's when she hit me with the baton.
Watch again as you see the two sprinters running side by side as they round the corner with Kaylin on the outside, Kaylin's mother cheering her on. Just as Kaylin is passing the other runner, the athlete swings her baton, striking Kaylin.
I just felt a bang on my head and then I fell off the track immediately.
Kaylin dropping her baton and reaching for her head.
The whole Coliseum pretty much gasped. I just jumped up out of the bleachers immediately and ran to her.
Hold up. So, have anybody ever seen this in their whole entire life, their existence? I've seen where track runners had tripped other track runners, jumped into the other lane. I've seen all of that. But this right here is one of the most ridiculous things. You know those batons are metal, right? They're like metal batons. And she went like this and then like clocked the hell out of him. And I was like, yo. I was like, what the hell is going on? So when you look at it like that, it's almost like, okay, did she do it on purpose? At first, when I first saw it, it didn't make any sense whatsoever, but I kept looking at the film, and you got to understand, when I'm on Instagram, I do not usually have the sound on, so I'm just looking at visuals, and then when I'm looking at the visuals, I'm like, wait a minute. Why is she running like that all of a sudden? That girl was pulling up, you know, like the horse races and how that horse in the outside lane starts creeping and then comes around on that turnaround. That's exactly what she did. And when she did, her arms were way out here and she bopped her. I mean, it's clear as day, but this isn't why I'm showing you this video. I'm showing you this video because there's something else and there's a deeper issue to this. The fact that the person that did it didn't really apologize, she made it all about her, is diabolical. Like, this is the part where I'm telling you, yo, I have never, like, usually if you're at fault, remember the Nancy Kerrigan thing and the Tanya Harding, and she did exactly the same thing. Look.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Because nobody else wanted to hear my story except for people that know me and people that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm not even confrontation. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And I thank y'all for believing in me, and I love y'all.
Wait a minute. Where did she apologize to the girl? She said that she's like, nobody really trounced on her until she said the first thing where it was all about her and that she didn't do anything crazy. Okay, so at that point, you're just like, well, are you gonna apologize to the girl? Are you gonna apologize to the girl? Are you gonna apologize to the girl? Like, for real, ev- boy, stop. And then the people were clapping. She, that girl's telling her truth. Look, I'm not here to bash nobody, but accountability. I learned this over the years. Is taking accountability for an action. For every action, there's an opposite or equal reaction. So if they're throwing stones at her, it's because you bopped the girl with the baton on her head, man.
A person by myself, nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose. A person by myself, nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
I'm not. I'm from a black household with a black mother, and the crying part doesn't. The crying part, it doesn't work no more. You know what I'm saying? Those fragility tears, because it's the woe is me moment. That it's just diabolical. I'm sorry. That is straight nasty work. All she had to do was play her position and apologize. If she would have just apologized and said, you know what, I don't know where my mind was at, and I just reacted, and this is the action that I caused, and I apologize. Uh, I take full accountability because the girl got a concussion. If you would have just recognized all of that, oh my goodness, you would have just been way better off than what ended up turning out. Like this is crazy, man, because the work on this is so diabolical. I don't even know what to say. But I think the parents and the child that was a lot more calmer were the more logical people.
That curve, I had kind of got cut off when I tried to pass it the first time. So I let her go ahead. So I knew, like, when I got fully on the curve, that I was just going to have to push through and pass her.
Then out of turn 4, a strike with the metal baton to Tucker's head sends her reeling. Officials immediately disqualified the team from Icy Norcom, but the damage was done.
I still can't believe it. I'm still in shock. Like, everyone's texting me, checking up on me, and I appreciate that. But, like, I'm still trying to take it all in. I can't believe it happened.
Tucker's now dealing with the effects of a concussion and a possible skull fracture. Now, all the Tuckers want is an apology and an explanation.
Why did you do it, and why haven't you apologized yet?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That should have never happened. That is not my character. I don't understand what I was thinking of. I truly, truly apologize. That's it. That's all you had. That's all she had to do. Now, if there was a lawsuit later, like for damages, like because she had to go to the hospital and all that, and these parents don't look like the type of parents that would do that, well, that's a possibility, and you just got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But this is where we're at in society right now, where there's no accountability for something that's it's just goofy. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So instead of apologizing or instead of taking accountability and just let this move on, it wouldn't have became a fiasco. She doubled down and started crying. So I'm gonna show you that in a second. But I'm gonna show you there was an actual freaking rally over this. Like this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. And you know, I'm from the era of Nancy Kerrigan and all that stuff. And I've seen track runners trip other track runners, get in the other lane. You see it in the Olympics and all that, but I've never seen somebody get bopped over the head with a baton, and this is your response.
Thank y'all for supporting me. Because nobody else wanted to hear my story except for people that know me and people that know I would never do anything like that. I would never harm anybody. I'm not a fighter. I'm not even competition. I wouldn't even do that on purpose. And I thank y'all for believing in me, and I love y'all.
Let's go back.
A person by myself, nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
Just apologize. You ain't gotta do all. What is all that? What are you doing at this point? Your parents should be great. Your parents should be great PR people. Where are your parents at on this? Like, how come I ain't see none of them on camera? Okay, so again, I'm doubling down on the victim on this one because the victim kept a cool head, even though she's sitting there with a freaking concussion. Like, okay, let's bring it back because I don't want to project negative energy. But all she asked for was an apology.
That curve, I had kind of got cut off when I tried to pass it the first time. So I let her go ahead. So I knew, like, when I got fully on the curve, that I was just going to have to push through and pass her.
Then out of turn 4, a strike with the metal baton to Tucker's head sends her reeling. Officials immediately disqualified the team from Icy Norcom, but the damage was done.
I still can't believe it. I'm still in shock. Like, everyone's texting me, checking up on me, and I appreciate that. But, like, I'm still trying to take it all in. I can't believe it happened.
Tucker's now dealing with the effects of a concussion and a possible skull fracture. Now, all the Tuckers want is an apology and an explanation.
Why did you do it, and why haven't you apologized yet?
Was this girl, like, super nasty? Like, she became a threat? Like, I'm trying to understand why. And was there prior beef to it? Was there, like, because there got to be, there's always two sides of the story. Unfortunately, the girl that was crying, which I would deem as the villain, was, she didn't do that right. She just didn't do that right. And, look, I wish well for both women. I think the parents of the victim of Kaylin Tucker, they're not facetious. I don't think they'll try to sue the parents or anything like that. Well, until, like, the other girl's parents need to sit up there and say, yo, apologize to this girl. That's all they want. They might be able to move on. They might have great insurance because they don't even look like they're tripping. Like, their concern is with their daughter, and the daughter looks fine. Now, we don't know. In a week or so, the story could change, especially from the time of this recording. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on. Meanwhile, in Memphis,
Breaking news just out of our newsroom here at Fox 13. A man is in the hospital after being shot in the leg overnight. Memphis police say he was shot by his dog. Seriously. I don't think that's right. This happened just before 4 a.m. at a home on Whitney Avenue in Fraser. Wow. Police say the man was lying in the bed with a girl with a gun on the bed. They say his dog jumped up on the bed, got his paw ball stuck in the trigger and ended up hitting the trigger.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. So let's unpack this real quick, okay? See, y'all just be gliding by shit, scrolling, and then you keep scrolling. My man was laying in the bed with his girl with his gun. This is some 90s shit. Like, for real. This is some for real 90s, like, hood movie type. And then the dog came in, got his paw. Like, what is the chances of a dog with the gun? And see, your millennials is going to try to justify some shit and say, well, you know, they can happen. No, it can't. It can't happen. But Memphis always finds a way. Shout outs to Memphis. Like, y'all got the most outrageous stories that I've ever seen in my life. He said, while relaxing, the victim's dog jumped on the bed and got his paw stuck in the trigger guard. First of all, why wasn't his gun on safety if he was in the bed with somebody? And ended up hitting the trigger. The victim was then grazed in the top left eye. It's not a bad thing, but you don't release the man's name because we're gonna look at him like he's like crazy, like dumb. Passion I picked up has been cooking in the last. Well, I've been messing with it for about 10 years. Never got no props on it. But you know, I broadcast from Houston, Texas. And I eat a lot out here, and I picked up a lot of different types of cooking, certain types of techniques, all kind of cool stuff, man. So on this limited series, I want to show you what I've cooked, because and a healthy alternative as well. Being older and getting into your older years, you know, cutting pork out your system. Luckily, I'm allergic to it. But cutting pork out your system, any kind of fat that's not related that can clog your arteries, and stop eating fast food. Fast food is the hardest thing to stop eating, by the way. But I had a chance to go somewhere and eat different food that wasn't American, and when I tell you it was great, it was great, boy.
Today's dinner, air fried chicken. That should look like real fried chicken, huh? Asparagus, rice with gravy, mushrooms in the gravy. Look at that. They used the last of this tropical egg flour. I really need some more. But, oh man. This is today's dinner. Wednesday. Hump day. Abbott Elementary comes on later.
We call that food porn, especially the way you shoot it. But that was an air fried chicken. I've never done that. Like, I've tried to do it like maybe 2 or 3 times, but I finally got the breading right on there to make it look like actual fried chicken. So I was very excited about that. I just wanted to share with y'all, mother.
Welcome back to News 5 at 6 o'clock. A family in Mobile is upset after receiving a rude message on a receipt. They're calling it a form of bullying. News 5's Chad Petrie has the story.
When you get a fast food meal, no one expects to be called a little ugly dude.
Wait, so when they put the name, they put, hey, I'm fucking weak. Hey, I'm fucking weak. Hold on, bro. What?
Little ugly dude.
It's really the way the news dudes say it, bro. Oh my God, I'm so weak.
To be called a little ugly dude.
I looked at it and say, little ugly dude. I'm like, really?
Tanisha Bush says her son went into the Wendy's on Schillinger Road Monday night. Quintarius Brown says he couldn't figure out why people behind the counter were laughing before he got his order. When he saw the words, "Lil Ugly Dude" printed at the bottom, he ran out of the restaurant.
It hurt my feelings.
Bro, man, get the fuck off my screen, bro. This shit funny as hell, gang.
All right, so let's talk about spring break. I don't have no problems with spring break. I think spring break is always needed. And, you know, what makes everything so dope about it is you get the different experiences and different cultures and stuff. But black people, we don't do none of that. We go act the goddamn fool within our own, especially with HBCUs. Now, a lot of people were outraged. First of all, I've never known Houston to be a destination for spring break. Summertime, yes. Spring break, no. But what I'm seeing is the outrage of this thing they called Baywatch out here in Houston. And I'm going to be honest with you. As a neighborhood old head, I'm going to tell you something. There was nothing wrong with it. The footage I saw on TikTok and all that, let me tell you something. They done made a Hulu docu-series on Freaknik. Now, I'm 51 years old. I've been to both Freaknik in Atlanta and Texas. Well, it was never called Texas Beach Party. It was called Kappa Beach Party in the 90s. Kappa Beach Party was the thing. That was the spot. And if you ask me the difference between Kappa Beach Party and Freaknik, Freaknik was wild, man, because I would go there to Atlanta. My family's from there. I wouldn't even see my family. I would just go with my partner, and I always wore a backpack. And the backpack had the essentials in it. They're going to tell you what it was. It's the 90s. This is before 9/11. So I would walk around, get on the MARTA. We would park our vehicles at a parking garage in downtown Atlanta, get on the MARTA, and that's what we would do, right? So on the MARTA, you get on, that's the train. So you just go wherever you need to go, where it was popping and all that. We go where all the bikes were. We would go, like, wherever there was women, we were there. Let's put it that way. Now, the crazy part about all that is Kappa Beach Party wasn't really in Houston. You hear me? Kappa Beach Party was never really in Houston. It was in Galveston. Stewart Beach. And when I tell you that made more boys than the men, I'm not lying. Boy, so this Baywatch thing, I'm not even bugging on it because this is a whole different generation. And why can't they get to experience what we did?
Y'all thought you was going to have fun in Houston, the Baywatch, didn't y'all? Y'all thought y'all was going to go out there, you know, wear bikinis, have a good time, you know. I seen the videos. There's going to be 1,000 nightmare videos coming up talking about some Nightmare Baywatch. Houston's hell. Yeah, we know that already. Why'd you go?
Now, to his logic, it's Houston. Why'd you come to Houston? But they had like all these festivities and stuff. And they had a lot of things going on. Now, as your neighborhood old head, that is not my place to go out there and party. I am a well-qualified DJ. And if you're a DJ that still needs to be in the scene after the age of 45, there's something wrong with your whole lifestyle unless you're making millions of dollars off of it. If you're not making $1 million off of it, man, you better go do some weddings. Stuff that doesn't involve extraness. Here's like a small clip of Baywatch. I was going through it, but without copyright infringement and all that, I couldn't like really get a really clean take on it. But like, I didn't. This looks like any other festival that goes on. Fuck everybody. Oh, my bad. So that yeah, all right. Lord forbid. How are you looking at this as crazy? Now, if women go on there and tell crazy ass stories, dudes go on there, let them tell these stories and then keep pushing. It's not about you. This is a younger generation that gets to experience some shit like we did like this. Okay, so the title of this is Aaron the Plumber.
Where would you take me? Where would you even take me on the first date? Yes, because you look like you look like you
I'll
don't
take
even
you
know.
to a 5-star restaurant.
What type of 5-star
Your
restaurant?
beautiful ass. You deserve
Thank
to
you.
go to a French restaurant with me.
But what type of French restaurant?
You ever heard of Jacques in the Box?
Jack in the Box. What type of broke nigga is that?
I mean, I spent all the
What type of
money.
broke is that? You can't even afford a 5-star restaurant for real. You said 5-star though.
They accept food
But you
stamps.
said 5-star.
It is 5 stars.
You know what?
Just to
Honestly,
get mad.
honestly, I really got a nigga though.
Yeah.
And he can afford the 5-star restaurant that you claim. If you got a he can afford all that.
Yo!
Like we really should
Bro, what the hell, man? Y'all don't even need no security.
Ain't nobody worried about none of that. Come on. Let's just go. No.
You ain't talking about no. You ain't talking about.
Come on, no.
Word to Mark X. Yo. Yo. This is the most, for these Gen Zers, this is the most Gen X thing I've ever seen on one of these stupid shows. I've never seen this show. This is a clip, as you can see, with, you could tell that I stole this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it's like, he slapped this motherfucker. Okay, so let me give you context on this as a grown man, okay? As a grown man, you can get in a fight. You can go to fisticuffs or you can pull out switches. It can be one of the others. But the one thing that nobody ever thought of, slapping a motherfucker. You know, look, when you slap a person, it doesn't matter if you come back and beat the hell out that person, you're never gonna live down the fact that you got slapped. And then the way the dude that was talking was so incognito, you ain't know his size or anything, which I'm gonna show you right now. But yo, what I'm telling you is, and again, you could talk to my dogs. The only reason why I became a club DJ was because I got kicked out of every club. I like to fight. So when I saw old boy, I'm the only person that saw him cock back. And he cocked back with that slap. It's embarrassing, yo. It's an embarrassing moment. This is how, like, people that are millennials or Gen Zers, they wouldn't be able to accept that defeat. Therefore, people end up in bodies and smoking packs. But what I'm saying is, hold on. I'm gonna run this back real quick.
Could you tell us?
Okay. Shout outs to Mattress Mac, Houston, Texas. But my whole thing is that's exactly what look, I don't condone fighting anymore. But what I do condone is it looked like my boy. Look, all these things were staged anyway, but I feel like my boy got set up for failure from the jump. So if that's the case, I blame the producers and all that because y'all let this girl's man sit there. What was the point of that? This is what I'm talking about. Why I hate podcasts. I hate it because it's like this is dumb. Like, what's the point? What is the exact point of that video? There was no point. Now, the entertainment value of him getting slapped out of was amazing. That's amazing. But what was the whole point of the video? I hate podcasts. So I'm going to end this off with like, subscribe to any platform that you're watching or listening from because it'll be available on podcast sites as well as YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, TikTok, and like and subscribe. It's not that hard to do because I do it to a lot of people. And also, I do have a book coming out called 120 or 1222 Giles Street, 1978 to 1989. If you're wondering why I'm looking like that, it's because I didn't know if I wanted to keep that as a tentative title, but the book is coming out. I will keep you focused on this, but this is the reason why I'm doing the limited series, is to put my face. And if B. King was still alive, rest in peace, B. King, he'd be like, why your face so ugly? And I'm okay with that. But I want everybody to start lightening up. The whole point is to light up. And right now I want to show you the most lightening up thing that I can ever tell you. So I got Boosie Badass on video. And this is the most wholesome that I've seen somebody that has been marginalized in media to look like a bad guy. And when I say that to say this. Black people, we are not a monolith. We are not the tap dancing people anymore, man. There's so many stories out there. All you have to do is look it up and know that you are worth it. So with me saying this on my limited series on the first one, I'm gonna leave it with Boosie Badass. I'm gonna call him Boosie Badass. But I'm not gonna call him Lil Boosie. That's a grown ass man. Context. He is sitting there waiting for his pickup because if you notice, he has his bag right next to him. So he's about to leave. This is outside of a hotel. I don't know what city he was in, but they were celebrating a wedding. And as he was sitting there waiting, instead of being extra and doing what Karens do, he adapted the culture. This is something I've never seen in this man. and he adapted to culture. So, look, again, like and subscribe. My name is Boo Heff, bitch. Okay, so with that being said, this is just a beautiful moment, and I just want the beautiful moment to continue because we don't have all of that in our lives right now. Trust. We don't have those. We don't have stuff like this in our life because everybody's so wound up with so much hate that we got this. Look at my man. Look at my man. Look at my man. You already see that he about to act a fool. All I'm saying is learn a culture today. Learn something different from what you know. Real talk. Thank you guys. I appreciate everything, the people that kind of pushed me to make this limited series. It's a limited series, so I'm going to make it interesting. Thank you guys again. Like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on, whether it's audio or visual. Just subscribe, man. Help a brother out. I don't need anything. But if you want to become a member on YouTube or you want to subscribe on my TikTok, I got special stuff coming. So keep it real. We're doing it like this for this limited series. I can't tell you how many episodes it's going to be, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to be highly entertaining because, you know, I'm a Gen Xer that doesn't give a...
1991, see your year hangs high. What the dudes you dumb corny, but the ladies were fly. Hanging with the day, Korea that master getting black. Yeah, Annie lived around the way. Knew this girl named Shay. She was mixed, but always willing to play. So I met her. Claudia was a chick that drove a black Jetta. Mexican broad, and she believed she was go-getter.